intercepts now. We've learned how to sketch lines. We've learned how to plot them, not sketch them. I'll be talking about sketching next lesson possibly. Now there are certain properties a graph has and we need to identify those. So there is something called the gradient. Have you heard of this word before?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. What does it mean?
I don't know.
Oh, you've just heard it? Where did you hear it? Like me talking?
Seen it or something.
Seen it or something, okay. Anyone else who actually knows what it is?
It's the slope.
Slope is used in other words. Slope. Have you heard of that word before?
Yeah.
Yes, again you saw it somewhere?
Yeah.
Great. So is gradient the slope? What does that mean in simple terms? If I was to explain gradient to someone, I saw someone doing this. Can you explain it?
Goes down. Changes the angle.
It goes down. Does it always go down? Can it go up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the angle of the line.
Angle, okay. Yeah, you guys are kind of getting the gist of it. Nah, completely irrelevant. Steepness of a line. So, can a line be horizontal?
Yeah.
Is it a steep line or a flat line?
Flat.
Flat. Gradient is 0. Is this steeper?
Yes.
So it has a higher gradient than the flat line. The steeper it gets, the gradient increases. So this is undefined really, we'll talk about it later. Steep, less steeper, less steeper, less, 0 gradient. So the gradient is the measure of how steep a line is. Yes? Okay, now it can be steep 2 ways. It can be going up, like going up left to right, or it can be going down left to right. Yes? So the number, the actual quantity the gradient has, which we'll calculate, tells us how steep it is. But the direction, how will we know whether it's going up this way or going down? Any ideas? What's that? No. The sign of the gradient will tell us whether it's going up or down. So always remember, left to right, going up, the gradient is positive. Okay, left to right. So from left to right, is the line going up?
Yes.
The gradient will be positive. Now, left to right, falling line, gradient? Negative. Happy with that? So you need to remember, rising line, left to right. So if it, with your left hands up, this is your left hand. Rising, gradient, positive. This one, gradient, negative. Okay, left hands up. Give me your positive gradient, please. A really steep one. 0 gradient. Less steep, but positive. Steep, but negative. Right. So you get the hang of it, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. That's the ninja. Alright, let's get on with it. Okay, back to maths. Now, how do we calculate it? So I've told you that what gradient is. It's a measure of steepness of a line, and the sign tells us whether it's a rising line or a falling line, left to right. Is that bit clear? Now, how do we calculate it? The actual measure. Does it make sense to have gradient equal to rise over run? How much the line's going up as it's running across? Does that make sense? Because that's how much you're finding, right? That's what you want to find, how steep it is. Does that make sense? So the formula for gradient is rise over run. Okay? Or another, you can use that formula if I've given you a graph. So for the graph, first of all, the weirdest thing that you'll hear today is the symbol for gradient is M. I don't know why. You can research it. It is. My job is to tell you. So for now, let's just remember it's M. What's the symbol for gradient? M. What's the symbol for gradient? M. Okay, a lowercase m. Now, enough. If I was to find the gradient for this line, M equals. The first thing you decide is whether it will be positive or negative. Now, left hands up. Left hand. Left to right. Is it rising or falling?
Rising.
So will it be positive or negative?
Positive.
So put a big plus sign. We've already decided that. Now it doesn't matter. This is negative, positive. We don't care. Put your hands down. Are we happy with that? The left hand decides whether it's positive or negative?
Yeah.
Now, between the 2 points that are given, so these are the 2 points that are given. What's the rise? How much has the line risen between those 2 points? 3 units?
3 units.
So the rise is 3. And how much has the line ran?
5.
5. No, we've already decided the sign. We don't worry about the negative now from the graph. So what's the run?
5.
So the gradient is 3/5. Clear on that? So there's 2 ways you can find the gradient. One from graph, one if they've just given you the points. Completely different methods. For the graph, first decide what sign it is. So why did I say it's positive? Because it was a rising line. What was 3? The rise. What was 5? The run. Once you've decided the sign, don't worry about it, it's positive or negative. Just see how much it's running across. Are we clear on that? Are we awake? Are we sitting up? Great. Any questions? Now, what if the question's given this way? You haven't been drawn the graph, you haven't been given the graph, you've been given the 2 points. What you do is, there's a short formula. Same thing, but there's a short formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. What you do is, these are the 2 points, x coordinate, y coordinate. Yes?
Yes.
X coordinate, y coordinate. You label them as the first point, so x1, y1. Label this as the second point, x2, y2. Doesn't matter which one you label one. You can label this is x1, y1 and this is x2, y2. You'll get the same answer. This is the first step you do when you are finding the gradient given the 2 points. What do you do? Label the coordinates. Label the coordinates. Once you've labeled them, write m equals. Write the formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Easy till now? We labeled the coordinates and we copied the formula. Yes?
Yes.
Now we sum the numbers. What's y2? What's y2?
5.
y1? x2?
9.
x1?
3.
And now do the maths then. Hopefully you should know how to. 5 take away 2? 5 take away 2?
3.
9 take away 3?
6.
3 6 can be written as? I'm allergic to decimals. Highly. Do we use decimals? No. Is that clear? So finding gradient using the graph, decide the sign, rise over run. We are finding the rise over run, but we don't have the graph and we don't want to waste time drawing the graph. So we just label the points, put the numbers in. Can we manage that?
Yeah.
Have to. Don't have a choice. Now, 2 other things. Sit properly. Calm down. Put your pen down. Intercepts. What are intercepts?
Where something
What are intercepts? Raising hands. Yes, what are intercepts?
when something stops another thing.
Okay, something stops another thing. That's
Like crossover.
intersection. That's intersection. They intersect. We're talking about intercept.
It's when the two lines are equal.
No, that's intersection.
When the line goes through an axis.
Yeah. When the points where the lines cut the axes are called intercepts. Now, is this a straight line, the red one? Is it cutting the x-axis at a point? Yes. Is it cutting the y-axis at a point?
Yes.
So the line where it cuts the x-axis is called the x-intercept. The point where it cuts the y-axis is called the y-intercept. Okay, it's not intersect, it's intercept. Is that clear? However, from now until the end of your life, whenever you've been asked to write intercepts, you must write them as coordinates. Is that clear? Promise me you will. So, can I write the x-intercept as -5 or have I sinned already? I've sinned. How do I write this as coordinates? What are the coordinates for this point? So, x is -5. What's y?
0.
You guys are so smart. So if it says x-intercept, it doesn't even have to say write the coordinates of x-intercepts. You have to write coordinates. Is that clear? Or I won't give you marks. Same with y. What's the x coordinate here? 0. And what's the y coordinate? 3. So the y-intercept is 0, 3. So if I say what's the y-intercept, do you say 3? No. What do you say?
0.
So what are the coordinates for the x-intercept? -5, 0. What are the coordinates of x-intercept? -5, 0. What are the coordinates for the y-intercept?
0, 3.
That's it. Do we leave them as a single number or have to put them as coordinates? Perfect. What's the x-intercept where the line cuts the x-axis? What's y-intercept where the line cuts the y-axis? So you'll always see that x-intercept will have y equals to 0 and y-intercept will always have x equal to 0. So we've learned how to find gradient given 2 points. We've learned how to find the gradient using the graph in our left hand, and we've learned what x and y intercepts are. We'll spend another lesson on it. Any questions? Great. Do your work.